guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I don't have any makeup on, I haven't done anything with my hair because I was about to start getting ready and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go film this. Oh my god, who says that? You know, only somebody who creates YouTube videos would say something silly like that. Like, let me go film myself getting ready. So anyways, that's what I've decided to do. So this is a little bit impromptu. And you know, I'm going to try to create a little bit of an eye look. I don't know, my idea of an eye look anyways. And I'm going to be using these colors right here. And I picked this little trio up at the dollar store. And I really like picking up little eyeshadow trios or quads or whatever you call them at the dollar store because they seem to carry a lot of matte colors, but I also like it because unlike most women, I like colors and shadows that are not highly pigmented because I need something that leaves a lot of room for error. I'm pretty new to eyeshadow application and I have very hooded eyes and I seem to mess up a lot. So I feel like I'm always needing colors that are easy to fix should I mess up. Not just that, but I don't really see myself purchasing, you know, these really expensive palettes that offer like 20 different shades. Mainly because whenever I look at those palettes, I literally see like 2, maybe 3 shades that I might use, and usually it's about 2. So, you know, I don't mind using drugstore products. I don't even obviously mind using dollar store products. So anyways, that's what I'm going to use for my eyes. And I did pick up a couple of other new products that I've really been liking. So let me just go ahead and show you what I'm going to be putting on my face today. So let's get started. Okay, so I have got you zoomed in a little closer. Hello. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some concealer. That's usually always the first thing that I do. And this is made by Wet n Wild. It's called Come Correct. I picked this up at Walgreens, but I don't think Walgreens carries it anymore because I was just there 2 days ago looking for it, but they do still have it online. I learned about this under eye concealer from Samantha, and her channel is called Stung by Samantha, and she made a video about it because it was her favorite, and I remember thinking, you know what, it's only $3.50. If I don't like it, then I wasted a whole $3.50, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. At first, I tried it and I thought, nope, way too thick for me, but I wasn't using it right. Literally, you only need that much. That is probably way too much. All I do is I really rub it together pretty hard, and then all I do is leave some fingerprints under my eyes, like this. Like, I can literally see my fingerprints. That's how little I put there. And then I just pat it in. And the one thing that I love about this, oh my gosh, it's got such full coverage. But it also has a very, very matte finish. You could get away with not putting any, what do you call it, setting powder on it at all because it's super, super matte. However, I will use some because I'm going to put on some foundation. This is going to be the Neutrogena Longwear, Nourishing Longwear. It's got 20 SPF. And I do take it up over there, and then I do need some setting powder because this almost has, it doesn't have a wet finish, but I'll show you. You'll see in just a second. So let me go ahead and put some of that on. So I'm just going to dab it all over. And I've been putting on my foundation a little bit different lately. So all I've been doing is I've been taking this Wet n Wild brush right here, and first I just kind of spread it around a little bit. I especially like the brush for my neck. I don't know, I feel like I always go back and forth because although these brushes are pretty soft, I feel like they move my skin around more than a blender or a wedge or something like that. So I just kind of move it around at first, and then I do take this wet little, it's not a beauty blender, but it is a knockoff. I don't even know what it's called. But anyways, and so it's a little bit damp, and then I just, you know, pounce it around and pat it in. And I feel like this is actually a more gentle application than even a brush. Okay, now typically I would probably put on my setting powder next, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the eyes, and let me show you what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this center color just all over the place, all over my eye, from my lash line all the way up to my eyebrow. I did not use a primer because I do not like using primers. I keep trying and trying and trying, and I just do not like the way that they make my eyelid skin look. So I would rather have a crease that I can just blot away with my fingers than have crepey eyelids. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use that darkest color right there. And I am going to use another little Wet n Wild brush, and I'm going to pat that on, and I'm going to put it all over my eyelid, and then I'm just going to follow the curve of my eyeball with it. Let's see what I can create here. Isn't that such a pretty color? Oh my god. I should have blotted my crease before I put on that base color, because I can tell already that the color's already a little bit more dark right there. Oops. But hopefully I can make this all work out in the end. So there I have it. Let me go ahead and do the other eyeball just like this. Okay, so I did just follow the natural curve of my eyeball. Now I'm just going to leave my eyes in a resting position like this so I can see kind of how far I want to go up with this color. Whoa. Okay, so right now it looks a little crazy. I do know that. And so now I'm going to place this color right here, kind of just on the middle of my eyelid. Let's see what that looks like. And you know what I'm going to use? I'm actually going to use the little applicator that it came with. So let's see how this works out. I really like this color. It's really, you know, brings out your eye color. Okay. Kind of opens it up a little bit, right? Okay. Now I'm not going to go all the way. I don't go all the way to the end with it. I'm going to leave the corners just like they are. But I'm going to go just a little bit higher than my crease. Okay. Just like that. And you know what? No, I'm going to use a different color on the top. Okay. So at the very top, I'm actually going to use this, and this is also something that I picked up at the dollar store. It's just Wet n Wild, and it looks like that. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to take a little teeny weeny e.l.f. brush. It's very little. And I'm going to take this color right under my brow bone. And this is pretty much how I clean up my edges. Rather than do a lot of sweeping around and a lot of blending, this is kind of how I blend. I just like remove color with it because it's kind of like a very natural looking skin tone. You know, I think I need a little bit more of the reddish color up here. Something like that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put on some, oh my gosh, I need to put on my eyebrows. What was I thinking? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now for this step, I'm just going to use my Milani Brow Fix, and it looks like this. I use it in every video. And I'm going to mix the two bottom colors, and that's what I'm going to use to do my eyebrows. I do it really, really fast because I have tattooed my own eyebrows in the past, so. Okay, so now I'm going to curl my eyelashes, and then I'm going to put on some mascara. Actually, before I put on some mascara, I'm going to put on some eyeliner. This is the NYX, and this is a gray color. To me, it looks more metallic. It looks like a mix between, it looks like almost a blue-gray, and I just absolutely love it. I feel like it makes my eyes look kind of blue-gray when I use it. So let me do this. Okay, so now I'm going to put on some mascara, and this actually came as a recommendation whenever I was watching one of Kathy's videos. Her channel name is Kathy's Beauty Care Chats. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. But anyways, I'm almost positive that she said this was wonderful, and so I saw it at the drugstore and I tried it out, and it is wonderful. So I'm going to apply it, and I don't typically change my mascara, but the wand is really weird. That is the only thing. I've never seen anything like this before, but you know, the color comes on really dark, and it actually offers a lot of volume. Okay, I forgot to tell you what this mascara is called, but it's made by Loreal, and it's called Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt, and this is the waterproof. And look at my eyelashes. They are, talk about voluminous. I mean, they are very, very thick. I don't have long eyelashes. I don't know if they helped add some length to them, but they are definitely thick. I'm gonna have to work on separating these in a minute. But you know what, I'm gonna do that at the very end off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the final look. Okay, this is kind of a cool eye look. You know, I'm not going crazy with too many colors. I don't typically do the outer V. I end up looking like an 80s rock star or something weird whenever I try to do that. So I try to stay away from that. So let me go ahead and put on some blush, and this is made by, I'm almost positive, but I will definitely put an annotation. Pretty sure it is Milani, because I used it, I'm almost positive I used it in my Milani Get Ready With Me. And it is so beautiful. It is very difficult to make a dent in this blush, but it's really, really pretty. So let me go ahead and put some on. Now that's what I do, and then I do put it on the balls of my cheeks because I prefer seeing myself with pink cheek balls. What? Wait, rewind. Okay, that's not what I meant to say. Is that too much? I don't know. I know it will look like too much outside. A little there. You know, it's so funny because there are times where I will make a video and I will edit the video and it looks like I have almost no makeup on, but I go outside and I look crazy. Like I have a ton of makeup on, like it's Halloween or something. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay. So the last thing that I'm going to put on, I think it's the last thing, and I know that I got this idea off of two channels, Kathy's Beauty Care Chats, and also Samantha, Stung by Samantha. They have both used this in their videos and they both raved about it. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and try it, and I will never use another powder again. Trust me on that. This stuff, it is actually quite thick, which I love because for some reason my powder just always slides off my forehead. I feel like I just have a little oily spot right there in the center, and that's almost the only place I think that I have an oily spot on my face. Everything else is like normal to dry. But look at this. This is just the translucent. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And it reminds me of my grandma. I think my grandma used to use this. It smells like her. I think she used to, I don't know if they used to make a blush like this. No, she used to use rouge. That's what she called it, rouge. Okay, look at this. And this whole entire container is full. This is gonna last me years. I'm not even joking. I actually put some in a little travel size container and I keep it in my purse so that I can, you know, obviously I'm not gonna take this in my purse. Can you imagine if it dumped out? But it's quite messy, so. Okay, and let's see, I need some lipstick. I need some lip liner. I am going to use my tried and true favorite NYX 831 Mauve. It's just the lip liner that I will probably always use. It's very close to my natural lip color, so I love that. So let me put some on. I always go too low on the sides. Or maybe my mouth is just starting to turn down like that now that I'm getting older. It's so weird to hear myself say that I'm 44 years old. You know, I don't know why. Like when somebody asks how old I am, I'm just like, I'm 44? It sounds so weird. I mean, I remember when I was young, that sounded so old. Now it sounds like super young. I'm just joking. But, you know, it's just kind of funny how at one time that was like total middle-aged, you know, for sure. And now, I don't know. I don't know what 44 is anymore. But, so I just put on some chapstick, and now I'm going to put a little bit of this. It's the NYX matte lipstick. What color is this? It is called Spirit. Okay, let me go check in the bathroom and see what I have done to myself, and then I will come back and show you the final look. I don't think I left anything out, and I think it came together pretty well, even though I used a dollar store trio, eyeshadow trio. So let me go check it out. Okay, so this is the final look, and I actually think it came out looking pretty good, especially for dollar store eyeshadow. This little trio was $1, and you know, I had said earlier that I like it because it's not very pigmented and you really have to build on it, but as you could see, I really didn't have to build on it much at all. It was kind of pigmented, but the colors are such that they're easy to work with. I thought that they were, and I thought these colors blended so well together. I mean, the only other thing that I used was another dollar store little product, and that's the thing that I took up by my eyebrow, but I don't know, I like it. So anyways, and I asked my husband and I got his approval. He said typically he can't even notice or can't even tell that I'm wearing any eyeshadow, but he could, and he really liked it. So, and he said my eyes looked really green. Anyways, they are green. Sometimes they look blue in videos, but anyways, so, oh, and I do want to mention this mascara right here. This mascara is pretty phenomenal, but I do have to say, it comes with a learning curve because I think you need to separate your eyelashes really well before you apply it, and then don't mess with them after that, because I went and I could tell that they were a little bit clumped, and because I just kind of sped through it, and I went to separate them, and then I had all these like clumps of mascara all over my cheeks and stuff, so I had to reapply and stuff. But anyways, it does give you a lot of volume. It makes them look really black and a lot thicker. Now I don't have long eyelashes to begin with, so it didn't do that for me. I don't think so. No, I don't know. But anyways, but I like it. So anyways, this is a final look. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And I think the colors, although I thought, oh, she loves me.